Assalamualaikum. My name is Atiqah binti MOHD Fauzi. My matriculation number is A20820077. Now I want to present introduction. Statistics, a branch of mathematics used to summarize, analyze and interpret a group of number of observations. The sample data we have studied is there are several fields that need to be studied. Among them is the field of education level, age group and sex. The education level consists of diploma and degree. For age group, which is age for below 24, 25 to 34, 35 to 44, and the last one above 45. We also study how much set between male and female. This task will use ANOVA and need to compare our calculation between SPSS. Next is above objective. The objective of the study is to identify type data and a variable to describe the second data set by using the appropriate table, and the last one is to calculate and interpret the measure of central education level, age and gender. Source of data. In this assignment, we can find the secondary data from Department of Statistics. We choose year 2016 to 2019 for data number of graduate by age group and sex in Malaysia. The data must be able large more than 15 or almost 100 data. From the data, we choose to select 30 data for sample size using random generic number. Next is type of variable. There are two types of variable, which is qualitative and quantitative variable. We have used quantitative data which can be measured to help us complete our assignment. Quantitative variable has two types, which is discrete and continuous. For the assignment, we use continuous variable, the data that we get have decimal places.
Hi, my name is FIRDAUS bin HASSAN and my matric number is A20A1537. So I will talk about a graphical presentation. So as you can see in this table, we have class, lower boundaries, upper boundaries, midpoint, frequency and cumulative frequency. How to get this class? The formula how to get the class is the biggest number minus smallest number and equal by k. So as example, in my data, the biggest number is 698,200 minus 59,700 equal by k is the k is 5. So we get the class. So the lower boundaries is minus 0.5. So as example, at number 1, the class is 59,700 minus 0.5 will be the lower boundary is 699.5. So that's how to get a lower boundary. So upper boundaries will be plus 0.5. As example, at number 1, the class is 187,400 plus 0.5 will be 187,400.5. So the midpoint, so to get the midpoint is lower class number plus upper class number and divide by 2. So we will get a midpoint. The frequency is like that, and cumulative frequency is the frequency at the first class plus second class plus third class plus fourth class and next. So this is how we get the table. So to the next slide, as you can see in the Instagram, the Instagram present the midpoints along x-axis and frequencies along the y-axis. It's clear that in the Instagram show the midpoint to 151,250.5 is it was the highest frequency, which is have 15. So the different head of the bar shows the frequency of the data. Since all the intervals are equal and continuous, all the bars have the same width. It shows the lowest and highest class marks on the x-axis. Okay, we go to the next slide, showing the give graph. In this figure 2, the graphs present the upper boundaries along x-axis and cumulative frequency along the y-axis. The graph shows the rising curve present the less than or give. In the upper boundaries, which is 187,400.5, shows the less cumulative frequency, which is 4, and the highest cumulative frequency is 30.
3.0 is above numerical descriptive measure. 3.1, the measure of central tendency. We find means, median, and mode using a formula. Means that we find when use this formula is 315,100.43. The median is 281,047.17, and the last one is mode 254,290.98. Next, 3.2 is about the measure of position. We find first quartile and third quartile using a formula. First quartile is 217,197.17, and third quartile is 187,293.33. Interquartile range is 187,293.33. The last one is 3.3, the measure of variation. We also use a formula to calculate this. Therefore, the sample variance is above 578,909,560,470, and the sample standard deviation is above 760,861,0,652. 3.4 is the shape of distribution. First is means and the median. The last one is mode.
Assalamualaikum. My name is NURUL dan SYAHIRAH binti NAZRI. My matric number is A20180. I will present about numerical descriptive measures. Okay, A. Measures of central tendency. The mean, median, and mode of the number of graduates by each group and sets measured in 2016 to 2019 using software SPSS is 306147.00, 282,900.00, and 168 and 500. Okay, for measures of position, the first quartile and third quartile of the number of graduates by each group and sets at measure in 2016 to 2019 in SPSS is 219,652.50 and 383,200.00. The third one is measures of variation. The standard deviation, variance, and range of the number of graduates by each group and sets at measure in 2016 to 2019 using SPSS is 135,924.188, 184,753,84752.759, and 638,500. Okay, these are different among for standard deviation and variance, but range is the same amount. Okay, the fourth one is the shape of distribution. The shape of distribution in SPSS is skew to the right, which is the tails extends to the right. Okay, the last one is hypothesis testing. Okay, analysis of variance ANOVA is a collection of statistical models and their associated estimation procedures used to analyze the differences among group means in a sample. For conclusion, in the table shown, for decision rule F bigger than FE, V1 and V2, which mean that fail to reject HO, since F bigger than 0, 5, 3, and 26. Therefore, there is no significant difference among the groups. Can reject HO if F bigger than FA, V1 and V2. Thank you.
Hi, my name is YAHYA. My matric number is A20A1319. And today I'm going to explain about the correlations analysis. As you can see at the table of correlation analysis, the Pearson correlations measure the directions and degree of linear straight line relationship between two variables. The Pearson correlation's number of graduates is 1. That means a value of R equal to 1 implies there is a perfect correlation. Meanwhile, here and number of graduates is 0.204. That means a value of R near 0 means there is a little or no correlations. Correlations is a statistic technique that can show whether and how strongly pairs of variables are related. A perfect correlation is that type where a change in one variable affect an equivalent change in other variable. I'm going to explain about the confidence interval. Based on the table, we can see the t-test. The confidence interval is a range of a value within which the population's parameter is expected to occur. The two confidence intervals that are used extensively are 95% and 99%. The 95% was a confidence interval for this sample, which means that the significance level was 0.05. Therefore, at 95%, confidence of number of graduates falls between 255,392.07 for the lower boundary and 356,901.93 for the upper boundary. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum to our lecturer. My name is ABDUL WAHID bin ESDAR. Today I want to talk about 5.0 theoretical modeling. This is the general form of the multiply linear regressions. Energy, number of graduates, constants of coefficient is 257,302.979. X1 education level 56741.696. H group negative 11572.583 and error term. On the equation, we can interpret there is a positive relationship between number of graduates and education level when another variable held constant is not significant to determine number of graduates because the significance is more than 0.01. The significant level is 0.293. This is a moderate relationship between number of graduates and age group. The size of correlation coefficients is 0.590. There are 30 data has been considered in research including 3 variables, which is number of graduates, education level and age group. When all the independent variable is held constant, the number of graduates will increase by 257,302.979. Based on the regression model, the R square is 0.214, which means only 21.4% of the variation in number of graduates can be explained by independent variables such as education level and age group, which include the models. Error term included in the regression model represent the independent variable which not included in the model, which might significant to determine the dependent variables. As referred to ANOVA test, the F test is significant at 0.532, indicates the overall the independent variables used in the model significant to determine dependent variable. Multicollinearity, the objective is to test the association between education level and age group. In order to check the association between the independence being used in the model, we can test by using scatter plot and correlation analysis. Refer to the table, the association between age group and education level is at 0.401, which indicates there is a weak, so do not reject as 0, which means there is a weak multicollinearity in the model. That's all for me. Thank you.
Conclusion. In conclusion, the report description collect data from the number of graduates by age group and sex between years 2016 to 2019 in Malaysia. Records show that the number of diploma graduates is more than the number of degree graduates. Each which class has a different frequency, a relative frequency and a cumulative frequency with a total frequency of 13. We achieved our objective to perform a descriptive statistical analysis of data from the number of graduates by age group and sex. This includes some very true calculations such as those description, means, mode, median, range, and everything related to statistical analysis. Few graphs like histogram and algebra used to show the frequency clearly.